Right, this is a very, very makeshift video. Let's see if we can do it. So for recurring decimals, if you have something that looks like 0.8 recurring with that symbol above it, that would literally just be 8 over 9. That can't be simplified. That one is actually nice and easy. Okay, whatever is recurring, you put it at the top. For everything that is at the top that is repeated, goes over 9. So that one would be 8 over 9. That one's pretty straightforward. This next one is a tiny bit trickier. So here, you only have the 3 that is repeated. Okay, so that will go at the top. Now for every digit that is repeated, you have to put a 9 down the bottom. But because this is 2 away from the decimal point, not only is a 9 having to go there, but because it's 2 away, you have to put a 0 there, as it's also divided by 10. Okay? And if you put it over 9, that's dividing it by 9, dividing it by 90 is dividing it by 9, dividing by 10 again. So that, as it's jumped another place past the decimal point, that becomes a 90. Now, for this last one, 0.54, that, we've got 2 things that are repeated. Those 2 things that are repeated, we go 5, 4, that would be at the top. And for every digit that is repeated, you put a 9 down the bottom. So that would be 54 over 99. However, hopefully your mathematical brain is thinking, oh wait, hang on, 9 goes into both of those things. I can simplify that. I can divide both of those by 9. And that would be my final answer. Be very, very careful because Heggerty always likes you to simplify it completely and utterly fully. If you're on the second recurring decimals task, you have other bits and pieces that look a little bit like this. Now this is a little bit trickier, okay? And this is where you have to use a bit of algebra as well. So in this instance, we make x is equal to 0.74 with the 4 recurring, okay? And what you need to do is you then do 100x, you times it by 100. If you times it by 100, this decimal point is going to jump 2 places. Okay, so here, this is going to be 74.444, and that carries on. 74 recurring. And then what you need to do is you need to also times this by 10. Okay, so you end up with 10x. Now if you times this by 10, the decimal point only jumps 1. Okay, so this would become 7.444 recurring, whatever. I know I'm going on a slant, but it's kind of hard to do. It's a little bit tricky. So then what you need to do is you need to take one away from the other. So we then do 100x, take away the 10x. Okay. Now let me think about this. 74 take away 7 gets me to 67. Okay. So this becomes 90x. 100x take away 10x is 90x. And 74 take away 7 goes to 67. Okay, and these 0.44s, they just cancel each other out. So then you can divide this bit at the end, and this becomes x is equal to 67 over 90. Okay, so that was literally what we did, like one of the last lessons before we split up. That one's a little bit trickier. So I'll show you again with another one that looks a little bit like this. You do it in almost the exact same way. Okay. So x is equal to 0.623 recurring. Okay. You do 100x. Or in this case, actually, what we need to do, because we've got the 2, 3 here, we actually need to do 1000x. So you've got to be very, very careful for how many decimal points you need to do. So we do 1000x this time, and that gives us 6, 2, 3, and that'll be 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So you always want to get it after that bit in front of the decimal point. So to do that, to get the decimal point there, we need to go 1, 2, 3, 3 zeros, got to times it by 1000. And now the last thing we need to do is we need to figure out what we actually need to be able to take away. So here, because it's the 2 and 3 that are the repeated bits, I only need to move this decimal place once. Okay. Now if it's just once, I only need to times it by 10. That would mean a decimal point moved from here to in between the 6 and the 2. So that means we got 6.2323. Okay. Now if I take both of these away again, I end up with 990x is equal to 623.233323, whatever. Take away 6 point. Now these 3 bits, they're repeated. You don't need to worry about them at all. So it's 623, take away 6 that you have to be aware of, and that is 617. So that's 623, take away the 6. And you don't need to worry about 3 bits, they cancel each other out. And then you end up with this in the same way as what I did in this top one. Here, I do x is equal to 617 over 990. Okay, and that cannot be simplified. Okay, and that would be your answer on Hegarty. Hopefully that helps. I don't know if my video is any more well explained than Hegarty's would be, but I don't know, hopefully my voice helps a little bit. So there's one video for you. If you do need anything else kind of with the other ones, just ask. Okay, because I can always do a bit more on the percentage stuff. Just let me know in the comments on Teams. Okay, so I hope that helped.